A question came to me some time ago from someone who knows nothing about guns or firearms, but they wanted to get one for home defense. They didn't want much. They just needed, they would feel better if they had a little home defense weapon. So what do you do when you don't know anything about guns, but you want to own one for self-defense or home defense? I'll answer that question. First of all, you need to learn something about the gun you're going to purchase. I would recommend one like this. It's a single action revolver. It's an inexpensive weapon as far as guns are concerned, under $200. Fires a .22 caliber bullet. This is the small, very small bullet. You can see how big it is. It's called a .22 long rifle. That's what that pistol is made to carry. And the first thing you want to do is, I think a small caliber is fine for home defense. Now, what you want to do is you want to go to a gun store. Lots of pawn shops, high-end pawn shops, sell a lot of new weapons, and a lot of them, or some of them, choose one that has an indoor firing range. An indoor firing range. That way, when you purchase your weapon, they will take you to the indoor firing range, usually in the next room, and you can learn all about how to fire the weapon. You can learn all about it on the spot. Now, why did I choose a single action revolver? For one thing, in my opinion, it's the more safe gun out there on the market, especially this one called a Heritage Rough Rider. A single action will not fire just by pulling the trigger. This weapon is not loaded, by the way. I've checked it and double checked it. This weapon will not fire if you simply pull the trigger. You can pull the trigger, a child can pull the trigger, whoever wants to can pull the trigger. It will not fire. The only way this weapon will fire is if you pull the hammer back all the way. Now the hammer is back. We can now pull the trigger. Let's pull the trigger. Now, when I did that, if it were loaded, it still would not fire. The reason it would not fire is because there is a safety switch. The safety is on. This is the safety. We have to move the safety down in that manner. The safety is now off and it will fire if I pull the hammer back and then pull the trigger. It will fire. When the safety is off, you'll see a little red spot. Red meaning danger. Little red spot will be visible, meaning the safety is off. The weapon is in firing mode. Let's put the safety back on. Push the little nib back where it was, and the safety is back on. Again, safety features on this weapon. Single action revolver. Put your finger on the trigger, pull the trigger, it will not fire. It will not fire unless the hammer is pulled all the way back. And even then, it will not fire unless the safety is off. Safety is off when the little nib is pulled down and you can see the little red spot. Put the safety back on. Pull the hammer back slightly, pull the trigger, let the hammer back to rest. Now, the procedure has to be followed in order to fire this weapon. You cannot just pick it up, start pulling the trigger, and start firing. There are several features that the safety features are built into a single action revolver. There is one other safety feature that comes with this weapon, and that is a lock. It comes with a lock that goes here, and the weapon will lock, and you cannot open the lock, fire it, unless you can know the combination to the lock to unlock the mechanism. There's one more safety feature I use, and that is a safe. I keep this weapon in a safe, locked, and you cannot even touch this weapon unless you know the combination to the safe. This is not a rapid fire weapon. It takes time to load it. Let's load it and show you how we load this thing. We open up what they call a gate right here. Exposes the hole where the ammunition goes. We pull the hammer back to half cock, 2 clicks. We'll not fire in that position. We take one bullet, we slide it in, we rotate the cylinder with our fingers to another position. I don't know if you can see the little slot hole I'm putting these in or not. Another one loaded. Another one loaded. This thing holds 6 shots, and see how long it takes to load 6 shots. I'm just putting 5 in, so that's 5, and she's loaded. And then let the hammer back to rest, pull it back slightly, pull the trigger, let the hammer go forward with my thumb. It's loaded, but it's not ready to fire. You still cannot fire this weapon pulling the trigger. That is a safety feature that everybody should love about a single action revolver.